Oh! I became a pro wrestling referee, and this is what happened. But first, let me tell you how I even got this. 2 years ago, I saw an ad on social media saying, hey, do you want to be a wrestler? Sign up for a free trial. And that's exactly what I did. It went absolutely incredible. And I even got shopped on my first day. And here is the proof.
Ooh, nice.
Now, this was a really big day for me. And it all started with breakfast. Here's the thing that little old me did not know. This is me, by the way, for the rest of the video. What I didn't know was that eating breakfast on that day was super crucial, because normally I always skip breakfast because I don't have time for it. But today I was like, I have to eat breakfast. And what I didn't know was that I was only going to get to eat one more meal the entire day. After breakfast, I was getting ready to go, and I hop on the bus and I leave to the place. I was walking around and I didn't really know where it was because I had never been there before. So after like 5-6 minutes, I finally find it, and the doors were open. All right, so my colleagues are not here, and I instead walked into a bunch of people just working, and I was like, hey, is this where the wrestling show is? And they were kind of confused, but after a while they said, yeah, but that's kind of later on. We are supposed to meet here, so I assume that they're just late. Despite the doors being open, nobody was there except for people that were working there, for like the food vendors, like the food courts and stuff like that. But my crew was not there, and I was getting concerned because I was already late to the place, to like where we were supposed to go. So I was already late to that, but I was like, is this even the right place? So I contacted the gang. So I contacted the group, and they said 30-40 minutes before they arrive. I think one of the people has shown up, but I don't recognize him, and I don't really know. His car is like the green one, but he walked like right past here, and we made eye contact, and I'm pretty sure we both know that we are in the same group, but I don't recognize him from anywhere, so I might be wrong. The gang tells me they're going to be like 30-40 minutes late, and I was like, shit. It was super hot, like super hot. I was wearing a leather jacket, and I didn't take it off until like 30-40 minutes later, I think. And on top of that, I was super thirsty, and I was really tired because it was like really early in the morning. So I was like, because I'm tired. I said because I'm tired, I was going to go. No, not even tired. Because I was thirsty, I was going to go and find like something to drink at a store. I walk around, and first of all, I take out this microphone, and a black car just pulls up. Hold up, let this be the car. A black car pulls up, and I'm here pulling up my microphone from my bag. And in the car, there are two people. They are staring at me, and I was like we both just stare at each other for like a quick second before they drive away. Like, I don't really look like I belong in that neighborhood because it was a really nice neighborhood, and I don't really live in a nice neighborhood. I love my neighborhood though. However, I was only trying to do content. Like, I was only trying to get this microphone to film content for you guys. And they were like, that's kind of how they looked at me, and I was super like, I was like, who the fuck, like, what do you want? Anyway, I walk around and I spot a girl walking alone, and she looked like she was from the neighborhood, so I approach her. Oh, do you know if there's like a store around here?
I think there's a Coop somewhere, or like not a Coop, but like a subsidiary of Coop. But
Yeah.
it's you have to like turn, and then there's a main street, and then usually there's shops around there.
Okay.
So like continue straight ahead, and then turn left as soon as you can, and then you're gonna like end up on the bigger street like this.
Yeah.
And there's shops around.
Okay, thank you. She was nice. And pretty much what I wanted to know was, does she know where like a nearby store is? And she points me to the direction, and I start to walk in that direction, but I don't really find it. And finally I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna look where it is. I look up where it is, and at that point it had already been like 10 minutes of me walking around. So I find out that this place is like 5-6 minutes more that I have to walk. And at that point, the gang was supposed to be there like in 10 minutes. So I was like, it's not really worth it to go there only to, it would take like 20 minutes. So I was like, let me not do that. Let's just go back and wait for the gang. They are here. Finally, they are here. Oh my God. I probably also should have mentioned, I have no experience being the referee, but hopefully it will be good. Finally, they come, and at that point, I couldn't really film that much content because I was a part of the crew and there was a lot of things to do. We had to build the ring, we had to set up backstage, we had to set up for the fans, we had to do a lot of things. The ring was built, I was just observing it, I was just looking at it, and that's when this guy comes, Topalovic. This will be Topalovic for the remaining of the video. He comes up to me, who is a wrestler and used to be a referee. He comes up to me and he's like, hey, have you been in the ring yet? Like, imagine this would be the ring, okay? So he's here, I'm here, and this is the ring. So he's like, hey, have you been in the ring yet? And to that I say, yeah. And he looks at me kind of suspicious and he's like, well, have you been in our ring yet? And I say, yeah, but it's been a while since I've been in our ring. And he looks at me, I swear to God, he looks at me like, and first of all, I was like, I'm gonna die, this guy's gonna kill me because he's a lot bigger than me. And he looks like a fucking beast. No offense, he was super cool. But I was like, he's gonna kill me. And then he's like, what are you waiting for? This is your time. Nobody's in the ring. Nobody's training for a match or anything like that. This is your time to get in the ring and do your thing. Hop in the ring, try different things, ask questions because you have wrestlers all over this place. So just ask questions if you need like answers. And just have fun. And he told me, get in the ring. And he was like, let me see you do 3 flips, 3 rolls. And I do that. And the first roll, I did it very quickly. And he was like, fuck you. And he was like, do it again. And I do it again. And he's like, shit, you're good. And then he just gives up and walks away. And I start to laugh. And I get out of the ring. And I take my camera and I place it. And I happen to record what I did in the ring.
Like when you are here, and most people immediately go like this, but you will also have much nicer bump when you keep yourself straight. And when we're going down, and then you will put the hand behind my neck, and I'll just pull you up and you will have pressure. Hella hair. So at least when you have plenty of time to like go down. Exactly. Now we have the same. Let's try to. I'm not gonna go up, but at least we have. Yes.
So anyways, later on, I go back to Topalovic because he used to be a referee and I had never been a referee, by the way. So I go up to him and I was like, do you have any tips for being a referee? Because I've never been one. So he was super cool about it. And he teaches me everything I need to be a referee. He's like, go and talk with every single wrestler that you are going to have a match on. And what I really liked about it was he said he specifically requested me to be the referee for his match. And I was so happy about that. I was like, hell yeah. His match, it was going to be him and a guy called Emilian Lewis. And we'll talk about that a little later on. But I was really pumped about that. And like he taught me everything on the thing. He was like, you have to act the part too. Because if someone does a big move and you don't react to it, then it doesn't really look like a big deal. You, as a smaller guy, you can elevate the moves even bigger by, let's say somebody jumps off the ropes or something. You can jump. Like, you can genuinely jump from the impact, giving like the whole sequence just a lot more, you know? Anyway, for the moment of truth that you have all been waiting for this guy to turn referee, here it is. Now, the first match, it was good, but I felt like I could do a lot better because I was like kind of botching moves and I didn't really know when to give the pinfall and stuff like that. I missed like, I think 2 pinfalls. But other than that, it went okay, but I felt like I could do a lot better, and I think I did in the 2 other matches. The thing is, I didn't end up recording the 2 other matches, and I only ended up recording the first match. I really wished I had recorded the other 2 matches, but there was just no time for that. However, the second match, it was Ozzy Miller versus The Strangler, and it was such a fun match because they had a story going on with a share. Hold up. I don't have a lot of props, so just let this be The Strangler and this is Ozzy Miller for the time being. So The Strangler, Ozzy Miller, they had a share, and on this show, the shares were legal for every single match. So they had a share, and the thing was they couldn't use the share because every single time one of them tried to use it, they would get rolled up 1, 2, and then they would kick out, right? So the share was kind of cursed. So hold up, let me balance this. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, so these two, after a while, they were like, okay, the share is cursed and we don't want to hold it. So they were kind of throwing it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I, the referee, I'm like here in the corner because I'm like, just let them do their thing. They're throwing it back and forth, back and forth. And then one of them just throws it to me. And I was like super confused in character, obviously. I was super confused and I was like, what do you want me to do with it? So I was like, I raised the share up, like, what do you want me to do with it? And they both fall down because I think that they thought that I was going to hit them, which they did. And I was like, what the fuck? I was super confused. The crowd goes crazy. They start to clap and shit. The wrestlers get up one at a time. And I was like, I tried to ask them in character, what do you want me to do with it? And they just drop and they drop and they drop. And then finally the Strangler gets up. And he's had enough of my bullshit. And he's like, listen to me. You don't get to do this anymore. And he shoves me as hard as he can. And I was like, what the fuck? In character, obviously. And I looked down at the share and I got so pissed. Because how dare you shove a referee? So I look at him and I swing the share. And keep in mind, the share is cursed. Nobody has been able to use it. So I swing the share at him. He ducks and rolls me up. And Ozzy Miller, Ozzy Miller goes 1, 2, 3. And the Strangler pins the referee, right? So I get up a little bit and I was super confused because what the hell is going on? In character, obviously. The Strangler, he was celebrating while Ozzy Miller was raising his hand. And then Ozzy Miller turns to me and he's like, come on. And he's like rolls him up. 1, 2, 3, Ozzy Miller wins. And that was the whole match. That was pretty much the whole match. What I really liked about this match specifically was they knew that I was very, very new to this. They taught me everything. They told me exactly what they were going to do, where they were going to be in the ring, exactly what was expected of me, and the finish and everything. I absolutely respect that so much. Because for other matches, which they could have easily done too, and it would have been totally okay, the other matches were like, this is the finish, this is what you have to think about, and that's it. Other than that, I had to like actually be the referee. But for this match specifically, they told me exactly what was expected of me, what they were going to do. They showed me everything in the match while they were practicing because I was there. And I really, really liked that. The match that I refereed was Topalovic versus the apex of Scandinavia, Emilian Lewis. And Shat, we have to talk. I swear to God, I am not glazing this guy, which is Emilian Lewis in this case. The guy had insane aura. Like, I have never seen that aura in person. Ever, ever, ever before. And I didn't end up filming that match, so I can't really show you the aura that I'm talking about, but I do have some footage from other shows. So take a look.
A man who embodies that moniker. He lives that moniker. His name is Emilian Lewis. He is suited and booted. He is cut from marble. He is the antithesis of everything that Saim Ashfaq is. And the one thing that Saim wants is what he's got. The NEW Championship. Emilian thinks that Saim is lost, that he's weak, that he cannot do this, and it's got personal very quickly.
Despite this guy's aura, and to be honest, he had insane aura. Again, no glazing. I genuinely had to contain myself when he came out. Not like that, not like that, not like that. But I was the referee, right? So I had to stay in character. But when he came out, I genuinely just wanted to be like, that was genuine my reaction from inside. But I had to just, because I had to be the referee and I couldn't like pick sides or anything. And he was also going to be like, he's the heel of the match. And let me tell you guys, the amount of hate that this guy got was, it was absolutely insane. He is from Denmark, like I said. We were in Sweden and they were genuinely, the crowd was chanting, "Kill the Danish." I was so flabbergasted because I was like, what the fuck? They were genuinely chanting that while he was making his entrance. I was like, I genuinely couldn't contain myself, and I started to laugh a little bit because I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then came my boy Topalovic returning with this. He comes out to a monster pop. It wasn't the biggest pop from the time that I was refereeing. The biggest pop was from Ozzy Miller. The crowd absolutely adored him, and it was super cool. But Topalovic was like a hometown hero. Everybody loved him, and his character is pretty much like, imagine like a Sami Zayn, you know? Every time he gets knocked down, he always gets back up. He like embodies the human spirit, if you will. Everybody loves him. He comes out, and these two have a match. Emilian Lewis had been talking shit about him, like his age and how he is so slow and everything like that. The match starts. Emilian Lewis targets the leg pretty much right away. To the point where I got concerned for Topalovic because I was like, he's gonna die. Like, bro is gonna die. And I was genuinely like, bro, come on. Like, leave him alone. Leave him, like, come on. Like, chill. And he starts to get back up. He starts to fight it. But it wasn't enough for the Apex and his aura, who does an Olympic slam on Topalovic for the 1, 2, 3. The match was really good. It was very, very good. And to be honest, it was probably the best match when it came to the wrestling point of view. My favorite was Jessica Love versus Honda Tomas, I'm pretty sure. But I didn't end up refereeing that. It was someone else. But from the matches that I was refereeing, this was the best overall wrestling match